cell phones. And again, please provide your name and media affiliation each time you ask a question during the press conference. That's for the transcript purposes. Please direct your question to a specific player or to coach. And if you're joining us on Zoom, please use the raise hand function for questions. Recording press conferences on cell phones or cameras is prohibited. This will be a 10-minute press conference. Joining us are the student athletes from the College of Charleston, Ante Berzovich and Ryan Larson, as well as head coach Pat Kelsey. At this time, we'll turn it over to Coach Kelsey for his comments on the game, and we'll follow up with questions for all. Coach?
Yeah, I'd like to first recognize Brian and his team at San Diego State. Watching tape on them over the last several days, I have unbelievable respect for their program, first of all, the way they play, how they play. I mentioned it the other day in the press conference that they hang their hat, pride themselves on a lot of the same things that we do, and that's toughness, tenacity. They're a strong physical team, one of the best defensive teams in the country. And they were the better team tonight, made plays down the stretch. Can't be prouder of our team. I read off a list of accolades of this team, which is amongst the greatest in the history of our program. Whether it's the Charleston Classic, CAA regular season, CAA tournament, 20-game winning streak, top 25, another 10-game winning streak. That's hard to do. You go into gymnasiums on the road with a bullseye on your back, and those guys to be as consistent as they've been. Our seniors are so special. It's as special of a group as I've ever coached. Hopefully I coach for a long, long time, but I know I'll never coach a group like this one. Just special. Their professionalism, their maturity, their commitment to excellence every single day just amaze me. And blessed beyond belief. Praise to God for this opportunity to be the head coach and be around young men like these and coach at a world-class institution in a beautiful city. Very, very lucky and blessed.
Front row, please.
Andrew Miller with the Post and Courier in Charleston. This is for Ante and Ryan. You know, you guys knew that they were a really good three-point defensive team. What did they do out there that kind of shut that aspect of your game down tonight?
I think they just made us uncomfortable shooting three-point shots. You know, most of them were wide open. We just didn't make shots. I guess, you know, these games, the shots are not falling in as they usually do against other teams. But I think overall we have to be proud how we played the game, especially in the second half. We all gave our best. We were fighting really hard. It's just those last 2 minutes, the ball, I guess, didn't bounce our way. They made a couple good plays. We didn't finish the way we wanted to, but you know, got to regroup and be ready for the next year.
Row three.
Ante, what is so difficult about trying to stop Matt Bradley off the drive when he gets to the basket? They went to that play a lot, and he drove and got key baskets in important moments. And why is that such a challenge?
Well, he's just a really good player. You know, that's why he's here. That's why he plays at this stage. And we did a scouting on him. We knew what he's capable of doing. For the bigger part of the game, I think Jalen did a great job, you know, trying to slow him down. We tried to give our best to give him help, but, you know, they just made a couple bigger plays when we didn't, and I think that's what separated us from them today.
Row three, middle.
Gene Zapikoff from the Charleston Post and Courier. Ryan, could you just talk about the specialness, if you will, of this team and what this, you know, 1 year in Charleston was like for you?
Yeah, I can't even put into words what this team means to me, what these coaches, the whole coaching staff means to me. Quite frankly, it's probably been the most special basketball season of my life, and it's all credit to my teammates and coaches, and to just College of Charleston as a whole. The school, the student body, just gave us so much support the whole season. I would not trade a single thing for what has happened this year. I absolutely love each and every one of them in the locker room.
Front row, please.
Andrew Miller again from the Post Courier. Pat, you had a 7-point lead in the first half. What did they do, or what did you guys not do that kind of changed the momentum of the game there to close the first half? Sorry.
Yeah, from what I remember, went on a little bit of a scoring drought, and again, they make it hard to score. You know, I mean, shot 30% from the field for the game, I believe, 20% from three, and we're still right there with a one-possession game right there at crunch time. So they're long, they're athletic, they're tough, they're well-coached, they're well-schooled. You know, and you knew going in when you saw the matchup, you just look at their metrics and their statistics, and they take away threes as good as anybody in the country, and they defend the three-point line and hold teams to as low a percentage as anybody in the country. So we knew we had our work cut out for us. We went inside a lot to Ante, got us going early, scored the ball, loosened them up a little bit, and to shoot that percentage and still be there at crunch time, I think a tribute to one thing. It's these guys' toughness. The second half, we were getting our butts kicked physically in the first half, and we never do that, ever. We were getting 7% of our misses back, and we're a team that gets 34, 35, something like that. We're top 20 in the country. And they were getting 36% of their misses. And a lot of those were like tips, loose balls, 50-50 balls, ones that we take pride on eating loose balls for breakfast, right? That's what we do. And before I even said anything at halftime, those guys had already addressed it. There's no question. I mean, credit them. They were the better team tonight. They won. In my opinion, we were the tougher, more physical, relentless team in the second half, and that's why we were able to be right there at the end.
Row three.
Coach, Bryce Miller, San Diego Union Tribune, if you could just follow up on the challenge of defending Bradley with the ball in his hands going to the basket.
Yeah, he's good. He's good. He's a big, strong, physical kid that can score from distance, can score at the rim, can put foul pressure on you. He's a very, very good all-around player. I'm guessing he's all-conference in the Mountain West. He's good. They have a good scheme that gets him the ball in places where he can be successful. Brian's a smart coach. He knows what he's doing, and kid made some big shots, big moment. Probably a couple that he'll tell his grandkids about.
Let's take a question from one of our Zoom attendees, Christopher Heidel. Christopher, go ahead and unmute, please.
Hey, this is Chris Heidel from Permican Radio in Baltimore. I'm sorry for the tough loss today. What did you take from this whole experience, from winning the CAA championship all the way to here? And what are you guys going to use to bring back the next year to hopefully get past this spot?
Well, what I told the guys in the locker room is, these seniors, although they played their last game in a Charleston uniform, they're gonna leave a legacy that's gonna last decades. Just will. These seniors led a team that lit our city on fire. Fire. Charleston's been rocking. There's a bounce, there's a vibe on King Street. The arena's packed, and that's because of the leadership and what these guys accomplished this year. It's what seniors do. They set the stage, set the tone. And when you have it rolling as a program, when the new group walks in on day one, I have to say less because of the example that Ryan, the senior, set, and then the guys like Ante who are going into his junior year, and the other guys that are older, they let the freshmen know before I even need to how we roll, what we do, what our culture's about, what we do is relentless effort, competitive excellence, power the unit, 25 strong. I told the team in the locker room that, next year, Ryan Larson's going to burst with pride when we're back here again and we take the next step. Just like John Meeks and Jordan Seachin last year when they come back and they use phrases and say things that is part of our culture, and they took that and they're using it as they move forward in their life. That makes me proud as a coach. We're teachers. I'm a teacher. And Skip Prosser said, it's a Emerson quote, our chief want in life is someone who can make us do what we can. And I'm not the CEO of the program, I'm the CRO, the Chief Reminder Officer, and it's my job to remind those guys every day what the standard is. But those guys lived up to it and then some. And again, I'm blessed to have the opportunity to be their coach.
First, front row, please.
Andrew Miller again from the Charleston Cougars. It's for Pat and Ante. It hurts now, obviously the loss hurts now, but when do you, or can you, in a couple of days here, kind of rise above the trees as a tree line, you say, and appreciate everything that happened this season?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, when it's all said and done and when the emotions, cool down a little bit, I think we have to be really, really proud of what we did this year. Winning so many games, it's just special. The group of guys that we had, I will never, ever forget this season, these guys, these coaches that I had this year, because it means so much to me. And, I'm broken the way this ended because it's, it's harsh because everything we did this year came down to this. But, it's just how it is. So we got to bounce back. I know we will, because that's what we're all about. And I can't wait for next year.
We have 1 minute remaining. Back row, please. Back row.
Coach, you mentioned, some of the things that San Diego State did to you guys, and you were a very efficient offensive team. I think this is the 57 points, the lowest you've scored this season. What can they do in this tournament? Is this the type of team they can get on a run and cause other teams problems as well?
I think so. I think there's no question. I think they're a very, very good team. They're very well coached. They're talented. They're athletic. They're tough, disciplined, and they're battle tested, right? In an older group, they're experienced. They went through a tough time last year and took the next step today. So I don't see any reason why they can't.